ask just about your form over the last 6, 7 months? Is this the fruit of a lot of hard work and a lot of training and experience, or have you flicked a switch or something that you're doing differently for the benefits of your own game?
I think I've just, I think I've said it in the media. Don't know when I said it, but just letting go of the mistakes and trying to control the game, trying to control parts of my game. You know, there's so many moments in the game that you have zero control over, and there's certain things you can't control. Your effort, your want to play the way that the team wants to play, and for me, I've just focused harder on that and let go of mistakes during the game and realize that mistakes I'm making are me on my path to maximizing my potential. If I wasn't making mistakes, you could argue I was there, and I'm making plenty of mistakes. So hopefully, it's further up the road.
And do you do that in game, or is it something you reflect on after game? Or are you able to just let them pass by now? Were you getting agitated previously in game, and that was affecting it?
Still, no, still to this day, I'll mistakes sometimes will get to me. It's just the ability to come back to the actual the moment that's important, which is the one that I'm about to partake in. So, you know, I made a mistake today in training, and I'm just still angry. But then I have the ability to just move on to the next moment and realize that that's gone. And I can look at it after on the video. I can try to review it, but right now I've got to focus on trying to give my best in the next moment.
There's a lot of focus after the All Blacks game of the line-out, and then we saw in the first half against Japan the struggles continued. Is there extra pressure now? Was any of that first half against Japan a result of pressure from the previous match bleeding over, or and you say small fixes? If it's small fixes going on for a couple of years, does that still hold up?
What do you mean a couple of years?
Well, no, I suppose the line-out struggles could have come back a couple of years.
Have they?
And is it still small fixes if it takes that long to fix?
I wouldn't say there's anything major to fix. Just need to listen better. Crowd are quite noisy, a couple of those lineouts, which is great. So I keep asking them to be as loud and challenge us to hear. But I just see it as a short-term fix. I wouldn't look too far or too deep into it. Kieran.
How pleased have you been with your line-out defence work?
Yeah, pretty happy. Yeah, pretty happy. I like my line-out defence work. I can't do any of that without tight outs in front of me who have just been awesome. Lifters behind and everyone involved in the plan. James Ryan made some brilliant steals at the line out as well. So I'm incredibly happy with, yes, kind of a couple of steals myself, but I'm so happy when I see the whole plan coming together because we put a lot of work into it. Looking at the opposition line out, trying to find areas where we can get an edge on them, stop them from attacking. So it brings me such joy when when that plan comes together, because it's not going to be perfect. It's always not going to work out quite exactly as you want it. But the great thing about us here is we have such confidence in our ability to just react, ever so slightly in the moment to make it work. So it's just a very rewarding thing when, like anything, when anyone here puts hard work in and you get a result. It's very satisfying because it just doesn't affect us. It affects the whole team because it takes away the backs having to defend strike play, and we get to attack instead and try to get a score. So it's it's good, and I love lineout, so it's pretty nice.
Derek?
When I looked back at the game, I noticed there were two lineouts going on. There was the lineouts that had problems at the start, and then after just for the last hour, we don't lose a lineout at all. And
you feel you had to make a decision, or how does that work? Because the punter isn't used to seeing something switch in the middle of a game, or maybe they were too much soccer.
No, it's a good question. It's a good question. I think Ty Byrne just screamed at me and said, "Listen to the call," and yeah, like that was just like a mistake on my part where I just didn't hear it, and I unfortunately made the same mistake against New Zealand on the first line-out. But you know, where I wasn't going to make that mistake again in the game, and yeah, it was just like, when you're picking a lock and you just have that last one and it drops, like from watching movies, and that's really what it was. I just tuned in the ears, just that fraction more to Tig's voice, and then we started rocking and rolling, because all the we put so much work into it. Once we get it going, you'll see the benefits of it.
There's probably nothing new under the sun other than, say, Fontaine's DC's latest record, but Baird Jackman put up a very interesting idea. He suggested that that modern lineouts, because of the need to have big people on the pitch when the Springboks have big people on the pitch, he was suggesting that it would be possible to use 4 jumpers or to have 4 jumpers in a team. Could you just a bit of conjecture there, say, would that be possible? I mean, or is there too much in the lineout to have four say, designated people with calls and so on?
4 jumpers being second rows.
6, 8, 4, 5.
Well, that's what we have anyways.
Not always. Yeah. Okay. No.
Ruth.
Hi Ryan.
Hello.
Obviously, when things don't fire on all cylinders, there's a bit more spotlight on the line out.
Clearly,
yes,
yeah.
Obviously, then Paul O'Connell comes into question. What is he like to work under, and do you feel that recent criticism is be a bit harsh on him?
Who's been criticising Paul in this room? Thanks for your honesty. No, Paul's brilliant. Paul's amazing. It's on us as players to do a better job to execute. He doesn't put a foot wrong. He's so meticulous in his detail, his plan. I was meeting him last night at 8:30 as we were looking at line-out defence with Keane and James. The second I met and got to work with him, it's an absolute privilege to work with him. So I won't have a bad word said about him, please.
Never criticism, observations. Big difference. The line out, I talked with Joe McCarthy yesterday actually about, he was talking about the South African line out. It's probably a nerdish thing for line out people, but that they just kind of do pretty much the same thing and do it very well all the time. I'm just wondering, like in line outs you've involved with, like it seems from the outside, a long time since I've been in them, that they're so technical and there's so many bits in it that it's almost a wonder that they go well kind of so often, rather than people focusing on when they don't go well. It's
a wonder why that they do go so well.
Yeah, so because there's so many. People, 2 or 3 lads could be here or something last weekend, and that's before you kind of even move.
Yeah. So, well, yeah.
Like, is there a balance between trying to get the perfect kind of layout as opposed to maybe just getting something that's simple and just do it pretty well all the time?
Again, that's a great question. It's something I toy with in my own head a lot when we're, particularly when I'm in Leinster and we have a bit more ownership on kind of making the calls for the lineouts. Here, and Paul would take a lot of that responsibility, and we actually keep it quite simple in here. You might not. I don't know if you think that or see that, but we do kind of live by that mantra of we try to keep it simple and focus on what we call max drill. So if the throw and the lift and the jump are at 100%, no matter what the type of defense is, we should be able to win the ball. That's kind of how we kind of go about lineouts. And of course, each team you have to have some movement that will, maneuver their defensive system. But yeah, it is a balance between. Again, if it's something you enjoy so much, you want to kind of like evolve it and try manipulate. But sometimes simple is best, So.
And
it's finding the balance.
Yeah, like and on the flip side, if it's not working, then if there are so many elements, it means there's more elements to fix as opposed to
Yeah. Yeah, like anything, isn't it? More variables, the more can go wrong. So finding the balance between what you need to do to win it, and then that's
much easier in the old days.
what without jumping, without jumping or lifting, just stand in there. Yeah.
Last question here, please.
You started the last few games at 6, but moved almost like an in-game substitution to back row. How are you finding that role?
Yeah, it's grand. I play second row. I play 6. Really, all it is like our game. Like as forwards, we're all expected to do the exact same thing in terms of how we play on our kind of in our shape and stuff, and play around the ruck off 10. That's expected of every forward. So it's just a few kind of minor shifts in certain starter plays or defense or where I might be positioned on the pitch, but there isn't there isn't as much as people might think. It's a few minor switches, and then once the starter plays or the phase plays or the starter plays have started, we're all just we all take our numbers off the back. We're all playing the same game.
Peter, last question.
Can I ask one more question about Lineout? Sorry, Ryan.
Oh,
I'm sorry. So I just want to
You might
clarify,
need
your
that.
role is Lineout defence, and Tig is in charge of the Lineout overall. Is that a sort of a...
no, I wouldn't be.
No, okay, I got it wrong. Can you tell us?
Paul is the head of all lineouts. Then there'll be a little group who meet and talk about lineout attack, and then there'll be a group who talk about lineout defence, and then we're all kind of just obviously Tide will call the lineout, well he has of late, and in defence it's just the 3 of us, the 6 and the 2 second rows working together.
Okay. I'm pretty sure when Paul was playing, he was in charge of both sides of the ball. Would you aspire to one day be in charge of the whole operation, or are you just happy focusing on the oppo, more on the oppo?
No, I just do what's I just do my best. I enjoy line of defence, so I put my hand in there. I am in Leinster. I do I put my hand in the line of attack. Obviously you saw me call a few games at the start of the season. I wouldn't limit myself to a certain group. I wouldn't say I want to be in doing a certain role. But from your question there, I love lineouts. It's a great part of the game. So it's something that I'll always have my hand in.
Okay. You notice you've played 2 80s in a row for Ireland. Are you okay with that? You seemed a bit disappointed about having to go into overtime in an Leinster match recently.
Oh, great. I actually get to clear that one up. So we wanted to play a certain play, and I said to Harry, can we run this? And he was like, no, we don't have a loose head. And I was like, and then everyone went wild on.
So it wasn't fatigue.
It wasn't fatigue. I've played 5 80s this season. It's not fatigue.